whatever you want.
Welcome back to the 8-Bit Legacy Podcast.
We've been away.
Yeah, we've kind of disappeared a little bit. But we're back, and that's what's important.
We just needed some more time to let some things play out, give us more material to talk about.
We needed to have a 5-hour episode, which is what we're going to do today.
No.
So we're going to talk about everything we've missed. Everything from
the director's cut.
Yeah, the director's cut. So that'll be on our Patreon.
Bro, what the heck? There's not even a Patreon.
Feel free to pay for that, even though there's nothing on it.
He's just going to put his Cash App up there.
Yeah, I'm going to have my Cash App logo on there.
There you go.
But no, in all seriousness, we just been really busy. Really busy with life. Really busy. I can't even talk. I haven't done this in a year and a half.
Yeah.
It's been that long?
Yeah, I think a year and a half.
Dear God.
Yep. I went and looked a week or two ago whenever we started like kind of setting this up again, and just to see how long it had been. Sorry, I'm fixing my mic. Yeah, about like a year and a half.
Really? Like exactly?
It doesn't feel that long.
Since like the last YouTube upload.
Dang, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, but
we left our 10 fans.
It's our family. What are you talking about?
Bro, you're right.
But I feel like things are kind of like picking back up again.
Yeah.
In terms of like gaming culture, stuff to talk about. I feel like it was kind of like in a dead space for a little bit around the time that we kind of quit recording. Yeah, a little dead space.
But what's our first topic for today, Tristan?
What we've been doing recently.
Do you want to do it in order?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. That makes sense, right?
All right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I mean, I guess what we've been playing can cover a year and a half since we've been gone.
I've played a lot. Right. I guess I'm just going to jump into what I'm playing right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I got Starfield. We'll move on to that, but I got a PS5 Pro. That's more important. I did not pay for it. Got it for free. I traded in a bunch of stuff, but technically it's free in my head.
Not free.
He bartered.
I traded my Switch and my PS5 because I never touched that Switch and I don't need it. So I was like, I literally use it.
Switch or Tears of the Kingdom.
It was a Tears of the Kingdom OLED Switch that I touched maybe once every 3 months. So I was like, you know what? I really want the Pro. It's something I know eventually I'm going to get a nice TV, and I want the Pro so I can, and especially because, not sure if this is true, unsubstantiated, but the rumor right now is that GTA 6 will only run at 60 FPS on the Pro. So that is worth it for me because I cannot, I don't know what's wrong with me, but for some reason after I moved on to 60 FPS, I can't go back.
You think we'll get at least 30 on the Switch 2?
That thing is not coming out to the Switch 2. There's no way, but
and I think you got kind of lucky too because you got it before the price hike.
I got it right before the price hike, 2 days. But
which I know is on this list to talk about.
GameStop actually had a promotion the week after the price hike, where if you could get it for the original price if you traded towards it.
And that's when you got it?
Yes.
Okay.
So, well, no. I got it before that.
Yeah.
Because the price hike was 2 days after I got it, and then GameStop was like, we're going to capitalize on this publicity, which is smart on their part, because they were basically like, here's $200 off a console that's $900 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's still a lot, dude.
Oh, yeah, no, I got very lucky with all the stuff I was able to trade in for. I had a Spider-Man PS5 for Spider-Man 2, and it got me like a lot of extra money compared to what I would have gotten for a normal PS5, but I digress.
I thought it was a pretty good trade, honestly.
Yeah, no. And
I was a little concerned whenever you said like you did trade-ins at GameStop because I know that has like such a negative connotation.
That's what I was thinking about too.
I feel like Switch One OLED and regular PS5 or PS5 Pro, given the hike.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You didn't trade any games with it?
I did.
Oh, you did?
But it was just Switch games and stuff.
Okay. Oh, stuff you weren't going to use anyways.
Yeah, so like my copy of Tears of the Kingdom, all that stuff. But no, I digress. Back to Starfield. I did not realize that Bethesda games could look as good as this game looks, like graphics wise.
Had you never played Starfield
Nope,
yet?
not touched it. I knew it was going to come out on PS5 eventually, and I like getting the trophies because it's just a weird little.
Wait, was it not on PS5?
Mm-mm.
On launch?
Xbox bought. Microsoft bought Bethesda. Remember?
So
it was an exclusive,
temporary exclusive. Yeah.
PC and Xbox.
Interesting.
So, yeah, if they do that with Elder Scrolls, I'm going to have to get an Xbox, probably.
It didn't take us long to get back on Bethesda, huh?
Sorry. Look, man. I'll just go on this rant now.
He's wearing the shirt.
I'll go on this rant now. I have been doing a lot of reading up and watching interviews with Todd Howard, and I appreciate that man. That man is so passionate about what he does. Like
releasing Skyrim 10 times.
No, but who else could do that and sell it? Yeah, he sold it every time.
I feel like that's I feel like passion's not the right word though to describe that.
Well, obviously there's some corporate aspects to that. I don't think it's all him, but Skyrim.
Madison saying it's a necessary evil.
It is a necessary. Todd Howard is a necessary evil.
I feel like that's a good point. Like not even for Bethesda, but for like a lot of the. I feel like the most innovative and creative game dev companies are still doing very like scummy practices.
Yeah,
sometimes,
all of them are doing it, dude. All of them.
I feel like Rockstar and Bethesda are kind of in the same boat of just kind of like milking like their existing IPs or existing games popularity and just kind of drawing it out. Obviously Nintendo's Nintendo. There was another one I was gonna mention. Well, even like the Japanese ones like Capcom, you know, like Capcom's always kind of
Sega hasn't let me down.
Yeah, Ryan's right. It's pretty much every studio.
Sega's been pretty goated, you know. Yeah. I think
it's all the mainline like studios that do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's just indicative of where we are right now creatively too. Like it's so hard. I don't know if this is the right way to say it. I feel like it's getting a lot harder to come up with an original idea.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Instead, we're doing remakes, remasters, just everywhere.
But we're also like at a time now where that kind of makes sense because we've been through everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
I mean, I'll eat up a remaster. I'll eat up a remake as long as it's a game I like.
Exactly, and that I've played Skyrim on an Alexa. It's basically just D&D, but I've done it.
What the?
Did you know you can do that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can just say, "Hey Alexa, play Skyrim." And it's like a D&D campaign. It'll be like, you walk up to a mud crab. What do you do?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that though. Like I don't really know because I feel like we haven't had any big leaps. You know, like I imagine, you know, Super Nintendo to 64, there was like so many new possibilities of games you could create. It was basically just who can do it first.
Yeah.
But now we're at a point where like, I mean, most of my growing up, you know, like 360 to now, I feel like has been pretty much the same. It's just been, you know, prettier textures. But as far as like the capability of creating, you know, like new game concepts and mechanics, I feel like we're pretty much kind of just in the same place.
I think to counter that a little bit, I guess in the mainstream setting that's true, but I feel like that just leaves so much room for indie devs.
Yep. Yeah, indie definitely has been carrying.
Yeah, dude,
as far
heavily
as innovation.
Like I never played it myself, but obviously what was it last year's Game Awards that Balatro made it to it. Like what a unique concept, turning a card game into kind of like a roguelike, right? Mm-hmm. Games like a good one. If you think of Vampire Survivors, very like simple concept that was already previously done, I guess, with like where they're like flash games, like on the web, and it, you know, it's sold great. There's still a huge following. I still play it. So I think it opens up creativity to the plebeians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I like Starfield. It's good. It's Bethesda. It's a Bethesda game. It's Skyrim in space. People want to argue that it's not Skyrim in space, but it is.
Really? What makes you want to make that comparison?
It's just like,
we know every Bethesda game kind of just feels the same.
I mean, even the creation engine.
But you say Skyrim in space? Is that any different from saying Fallout in space?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Fallout in space.
Fallout is just Skyrim with guns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
So it's just another Bethesda game. I will say, I think they're gonna have a hard time selling these loading screens by the time Elder Scrolls comes out, because they are like every 3 seconds. Like you go into the ship and there's a loading screen.
Oh no, Starfield.
Yeah, it's Starfield. That's also just Bethesda.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember Fallout 4 had a problem with that.
There has been an explanation for that. Something with their engine that they load it individually. I don't know. I don't have the answers for that. I'd have to look it up. But I've been playing Starfield and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I do want to touch on something that I'm not sure our audience would identify with, but maybe it could be something they identify with. As I've gotten older, I'm finding it a lot harder to just sit down and play video games.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And stay playing them, even if I really enjoy them.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm not being productive.
Yeah, yep. I had that problem last night.
But I love games. Yeah. And I love the culture. I love everything. But it's like, I turned 27, and now I go to sit down and play a video game. And after 2 hours, I have to get up and go do something.
I can barely make it 2 hours.
And it's like, honestly. Well, let us know in the comments if that's something you struggle with.
I feel like that's a common problem everybody has.
I didn't have it 3 years ago.
That's just growing up. I think it's what it is. Yeah. And time. I mean, like, even if I'm kind of like in the mindset or mood to like just sit down and like play a game for a while, there's like 3 other things I have to do, and I just never even get around to it. But I have the same like productive problem too. I'll sit down and play a game, and I'm like, well, I don't feel like I'm being productive. Like, I'd be so much more ahead on this project if I just went ahead and started working on it now rather than playing a game. So yeah, that happens with me. So I've been trying to balance it a lot more, but yeah, still kind of a struggle. I feel like that's why a little bit of a segue, like the Ayaneo Thor stuck out to me so much.
I was about to say, did we discuss that last time?
Have we discussed that? Ayaneo Thor has not been out.
Really? Oh my gosh, it has been
that's what I'm
saying.
Long. It's been a year and a half. Jeez. Yeah. But yeah, you put me onto the Ayaneo Thor. I feel like that kind of, those little pockets of time that I could fill with like just playing something real quick, now I'm able to. Whereas before I'd have to, like get on the computer set up, like if I'm playing something on an emulator, like hope I don't run into any issues there, get the PS5 controller working. Like, it just feels more of like a commitment, whereas like the Ayaneo Thor, which if you don't know what that is, Ayaneo Thor is basically just like an emulator handheld device. It's been kind of like blowing up, really popular lately. It's amazing. I love it.
It's been a little harder lately with the RAM and memory
to shortages.
Buy one, yeah. They've just gotten pricier, and there's models that have completely sold out. Maybe not with the AYN products, but with some of the Retroid products, the shortages have made some of those devices like almost like unavailable to purchase.
The Steam Deck you can't buy at all anymore.
There you go. See, that happens.
I got a Steam Deck. Shout out James.
Yeah, no, you can't buy any Steam Deck now. I think my Steam Deck's like over $1,000 on eBay.
Jeez.
The OLED one. I think the LCD one is probably like $600 or $700. Yeah, it's been like rising rapidly just because they don't sell them anymore because of all the.
I think that is so sad though, because to kind of bounce off of what Madison was saying about feeling like you're kind of unproductive, not having time, I feel like having a handheld device of some sort is kind of like maybe not a band-aid to the situation, but it's like, it's easier for me to sit down, grab my handheld, turn on, start playing than it is to, sit down on my PC, start a game, maybe get distracted by other windows on the computer or whatever.
Absolutely.
And try to lock into a game like that. I am in the middle of moving right now, and so I don't have a setup, but I still have my ROG Ally, which I know is not the most popular handheld choice. But
it's pretty popular.
I mean, yeah, like, but compared to the Steam Deck, I feel like Steam Deck still wins out. But despite its limitations, dude, like, I've just been having so much fun just playing basically whatever I want on there, and then something happens, I need to go do something, I just click it off, it goes into standby, and that's it. And same with the Ayaneo Thor, you just shut the shell, the game freezes, and it's all good.
Yeah, it made me really miss like being a kid with like the DS and 3DS. It's kind of like taking me back to that. Like, I was outside, we were like burning stuff, like limbs, pine cones and all that, and it felt nice just to have like a lawn chair set up, and I'm just sitting there playing the Thor and just kind of tending to it, and it kind of brought me back to being a kid again, because I mean that's what I would do as a kid, like I'd be outside, doing something and playing Pokemon, on the DS, and so it's a really cool cool feeling.
It's a powerhouse too. The device, they have a light, a base, a Pro, and a Max model, and it goes from 6 to 16 gigs of RAM in it. And like just the amount of power, the amount of emulation you can play, I think you can emulate all the way up to.
It does Switch. Yeah, and probably PS3 now. I know PS3's,
I believe 360 too.
Gotten really good, possibly. Yeah, I know PS3 emulation has gotten like really good recently, like past few months.
Well, I've seen somebody play Bloodborne upscaled on it.
PS4.
No, Bloodborne.
Bloodborne's on
PS4 one. Maybe that was game
streaming.
Isn't there a
PS3 version?
Nah, it's just PS4.
What? Yeah. Okay, I might be confused then.
It was a launch title. Forgive me if I'm...
I don't think it was a launch title, but it was exclusive to the PS4 though, and it was pretty early in. It was like maybe a year or two in.
It was 3 years in, because 2016, right? Or was it 2014?
I have no clue.
Dang, that's crazy. I didn't realize it was a
probably was
PS4
like
game.
2014.
Yeah. So if it was 2014, it was a year in.
Yeah.
But speaking of Bloodborne, they just announced a movie. An animated movie. An R-rated animated movie.
For Bloodborne?
Bloodborne. Yep. And apparently Jacksepticeye is producing it, which is good for him, because apparently he really loves Bloodborne. But
have y'all, hold on real quick, have y'all watched any of these like recent like game movie show
Fallout's
adaptations? Great. Yeah, Fallout's really good. I agree.
I've only watched the first season, but I liked it.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody talk about the second season.
I heard
haven't watched
second season. I loved it.
Really, I heard people say it wasn't as good, but they still liked it.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad about it. Just like it didn't seem to have as much like
hype.
Yeah, but like I remember the One Piece live action came out. Like I don't know anybody who's
me and Brian are watching it right now.
I know. I know people who like it. I know people who really like it.
It's really good.
I just feel like I don't hear much about it. You know.
Yeah.
And I think I actually think our last episode is whenever the Devil May Cry one was coming out.
But that was kind of a bust.
I didn't like it.
I
liked it.
Really?
And I liked the new Castlevania season 2, but people didn't care for it.
See, I didn't like season 1 of Nocturne, but season 2 was great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think there was a slight bastardization of the characters. I guess maybe growing up playing like Rondo of Blood on the PSP, I expected Richter to be a certain way. Or even like his Symphony of the Night Richter as well, like just those personalities, and he kind of feels different from that. But
so, do we want to jump into adaptations then, since we've got like 5 of them to talk about?
The Mario movie first.
Let's talk about the Mario movie first. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, let's not spoil it, but you've seen it. I've seen it.
Definitely better than the first, in my opinion.
Really?
I liked it a lot better.
I've heard the opposite.
Yeah, I've heard the exact opposite. I feel the opposite way too.
Really? Okay.
I don't feel any bad way about it, but I don't think it was better than the first one.
Maybe I might be like have like nostalgia glasses on, but just again, I'm not spoiling anything. But every Smash reference that there was,
I've been told that movie is a Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was gonna say that I love about both of them. And I feel like it's a great thing to do with like adaptations, because like there's such a wide fan base for like Mario and Nintendo, and so for them to make something that I think like appeals to like 6 and 8 year olds, and it's easy for them to comprehend. It's not a world they have to necessarily. But that makes us want to go too. But it also has like so much like stuff that kind of appeals to the you know, like older Nintendo nerds. That's definitely my favorite thing is seeing, which I'm not going to spoil them, but has there any that you've been spoiled on, like any sort of like Easter egg placements or anything?
Well, am I allowed to talk about it on here? Spoiler warning.
Yeah, spoiler warning.
I know Fox is in it.
Yeah.
Which
I think
awesome.
that was I believe he was in promotional material or something.
They
had that leaked.
It got leaked.
Oh, it was leaked. So was it actual like promotional material that was leaked, or was it just like leaked?
I think the scene. Okay, forgive me if I'm wrong, because I'm wrong a lot. I'm pretty sure the scene or an image got leaked, and then they decided to just reveal it officially and get out ahead of it.
I see. Okay.
So yeah,
I'm sure if it was I'm sure their intention was to keep that hidden. Then.
I'm sure. I mean, I wouldn't reveal it. For sure, that would be a surprise in the movie.
And obviously, you know about Yoshi. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, he's in the promotional material.
I love Yoshi.
Donald Glover.
Yeah.
That is not how I expected him to sound like. I was expecting him just to have like his regular voice.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I had to like really focus in. If I didn't know that was him beforehand, I wouldn't have been able to tell. But I liked it a lot though. I didn't have any gripes about it.
I've heard it's very, very, very fast paced. Like from the get go, it's like we're going.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It gets to it because it's only like an hour and 20 minutes. I want to say.
Yeah. I think it was a pretty good amount.
Was
of time,
it as pretty as the first one?
Yeah,
I guess we didn't see it.
Yeah, for sure.
What was
but
because the first one is. I will pop in the disc for the first one sometimes just to look at it, and have it running in the back on my TV because it is a beautiful movie.
Yeah,
beautifully
I'd
animated.
say this one was easily just as.
There is in the first movie. The first movie was very bright in most of its scenes.
Yeah,
minus maybe the end where they were at Bowser's castle and dealing all that. But I think towards the end of this movie, again, I'm not gonna say anything about location or anything, but I feel like the colors they were able to show off the vibrancy in an opposite direction. It wasn't like all bright green, blue, all that.
Kind of similar to the Galaxy game, in my opinion. Yeah.
So that was very enjoyable. Like I said, I liked it better than the first one. It may just be all the references, Easter eggs.
Yeah.
But I think I like the story better too. I mean, again, you can't talk about it, but
yeah. Well, I'll have to see.
I'd say it's at least like on par. It feels like more of the first one, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
It just makes me wish we were getting an animated Legend of Zelda movie.
Yeah,
we want to move on
to
to that.
Live action.
I don't think it looks bad. I think it's so hard.
Have they released something recently about it?
Well, no.
I saw pictures like months ago.
Yeah, those are the only things they've released. They announced.
Yeah,
they announced yesterday at CinemaCon that it has wrapped filming. They're finished. They're going into post-production now.
So those photos were real then?
Yeah. But it's so hard to judge that without motion to me. It looks so different. It's like, I know we're talking about
like a YouTube skit to me.
I know we're talking about Legend of Zelda. No, let's talk about what looks like a YouTube skit. Those God of War pictures.
I haven't seen
okay. I don't know what they're doing with that, but it's unnecessary, and I'll watch it.
If I look up God of War pictures, am I going to see it immediately?
Just look up God of War live action.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So they're doing a live action God of War.
Of the remake.
And it's a TV show.
It's a TV show on Amazon, yes.
Of the new ones, the Nordic ones, or the
Nordic
old ones? Okay. It's a TV show?
Apparently it's combining... Yeah, it's rough. But the thing is, it's so hard to judge that just based on a picture. I feel like it's completely different in motion.
We can definitely judge it based on a picture.
It doesn't look good.
It's...
Well, here's the thing you got to think about is that they thought this still was the best out of the motion that they had. Yeah. So that's the concerning part. So it only goes downhill, in my opinion.
That's my thing. Like, doing production stills is a job. You didn't have a better one than that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But I can't judge because I don't do that. So...
Okay, question, because I know... does it have anything to do with, like, the same studio or whoever that made The Last of Us show?
No, that's Naughty Dog.
Okay.
I will say...
Well, I do know they're
first season of The Last of Us...
They're all Sony subsidiaries, so that's why
first season of The Last of Us, amazing to me.
Yeah, and then the second season.
I love it. Second season, rough.
Yeah.
Rough. You want to talk about a bastardization of a character? Ellie? And I'm not even saying... I love Bella Ramsey. I think she's a fantastic Ellie, but just random changes in that narrative for no reason, when, to me... Go ahead and yell at me all you want. I think The Last of Us Part 2 is a 10 out of 10.
So did the story not follow the game?
They made a lot of weird changes.
Okay.
Oh, so you don't know much about...
I've only played the first game, and I haven't watched any of the
series. The show, you haven't heard anything about the... Which this was like months ago.
Well, I have family members and stuff who said they didn't like the second season.
Yeah. Second season, they made it really...
Why didn't they like it?
I don't recall.
And your family members are wokies too, but that movie is just like really woke. Yeah, is to say the least.
I was gonna say, why didn't they like it, Ryan?
They did things to like. It felt like they were trying to insert kind of like really strange or straightforward narratives into something that kind of already exists that didn't have that to begin with.
Yeah.
And then Neil Druckmann just left. He's like, I don't want to work on the show anymore, basically.
Yeah.
But he's going full on into Intergalactic, so I'm excited about that.
What's that?
The Naughty Dog's new IP.
Oh yeah, that looked very interesting at the Game Awards when they showed it. Did you see that? Mm-mm. It was the clip of the girl in a spaceship.
The red spaceship. We'll have to watch it.
It looks like a very interesting game.
And
it says Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. But since we're talking about adaptations and stuff, we touched on God of War. Legend of Zelda, we know how we all feel about that. I like it. The only reason I'm so into it is because Wes Ball is the director, and I love Wes Ball as a director, and I trust him as a director.
For Zelda?
Yes.
Okay.
He made the last Planet of the Apes movie, which is a masterclass in not only, like... I have never been emotionally attached to a gorilla before, but holy shit. Wes Ball did it. So, and you want to talk like...
And those movies look very beautiful in terms of mixing like unrealistic things,
exactly.
I guess, from like the CGI perspective and all that. So that kind of makes me feel better.
Very cautiously optimistic about it.
I think cautious is good because while he is taking apparently he's taking like pretty decent Ghibli inspiration as well. I heard that some of the writers on it are kind of iffy.
They are, and from my experience, the more writers you have on something, the more of
a cluster it's going to be.
Yes. But at the same time, I It's Miyamoto, right? Who's overseeing all that?
Yeah, I think Miyamoto oversees like pretty much every
I trust
major
him
Nintendo
personally.
IP. I don't think he's like, especially now at this point,
I don't
like
think
actively
he's
has
gonna
his hands in
crap.
things, but he's gonna look at it and tell you exactly what's.
And I don't think he's gonna let something bad get put out personally.
Well, either way, it's gonna get put out now that people have been talking about it. Like, that's kind of the.
Well, no, because I mean they remade the Sonic movie. Remember they had that like pretty finished, and then
that's true.
Heard the feedback and ended up remaking it.
They're filming the fourth one. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, Nintendo's kind of just had like a. I mean, there's never really been any big major Nintendo flops in a while, so I mean, I feel like it'll be good. It's just it does kind of look a little concerning.
The Resident Evil movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about that either.
The trailer comes out soon.
Pause. If you guys see me like squinting my eyes now, it's because I touched Tristan's cat and I touched my eyes. Just what it makes that
allergies. But no, the Resident Evil movie is directed by Zach Kreger, who did Barbarian and Weapons.
Okay.
2 phenomenal horror movies. It's its own story, contained, no characters from the game, just follows a random person.
Really?
Yeah, and I like that. I like that.
I kind of like that too.
The trailer was revealed last night at CinemaCon for the private audience, but it should be coming out soon, and it comes out in September.
And this isn't animated?
No.
Okay.
It's live action.
I think it's great because it's following kind of like a Resident Evil 7 formula where, Ethan Winters, he had nothing going on, nothing related to this, just looking for his wife. And so I love Resident Evil stories like that.
Yeah. I feel like they should use the universe and not necessarily
that's
try
exactly
to
what they're
cash
doing.
in on the recognizable
characters. He said, I think he said in an interview he wasn't willing to risk using any characters. Because he's like the fan base would.
We've had so many bad
adaptations. They did a reboot like 3 years ago. And
Welcome
it was
to Raccoon
awful.
City.
Oh
yeah.
And this is like a big budget movie.
Yeah.
Dude, apparently it's not that expensive.
Oh.
But Zach Kreger is known for making great movies under budget.
Yeah, I guess like there's like A-list. It's an A-list type of thing, or is it more of like an?
It's just, he's using
project?
One of his actors that works with him on a lot of he worked with him on
like it'll be in theaters and
stuff.
Okay. That's
Absolutely.
what I was asking. If it was just like a kind of a Netflix type thing,
no.
or if it was going to be more of like a big budget.
The Netflix Resident Evil show is super weird too.
It was weird.
I kind of enjoyed it.
I didn't hate it. I didn't finish it, but I didn't hate it. It was very weird.
It had Lance Reddick as Wesker.
I don't know if I've seen any like full Resident Evil like movie or show or anything. I've seen parts like more so growing up. I remember
of the animated ones, or
I remember seeing like scenes of that. Well, no, they had live action Resident Evil movies in like 2000s.
I didn't like those.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but like I've seen like bits and pieces of like multiple, but I've never sat down and watched any.
The animated ones, they were goofy as heck, but I loved them. They were campy and cheesy, but in the way Resident Evil
I've heard that they were the
be.
better ones.
Yeah, but they are the better ones.
Yeah,
I really like Infinite Darkness. A lot of people didn't.
Yeah, that was the Netflix series with Leon.
It was the animated one that takes place in between.
And
when was it?
Oh Lord,
it's 5 and 6, right? In between 5 and 6.
I believe so. Yeah, it was definitely pre-6.
Yeah,
but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I do think that the animated ones were leagues above any of the live action ones we had.
So one thing I want to touch on that I'm very excited about to talk about is the Elden Ring movie that has started filming, and the reason I'm so excited to talk about it is also because of the director Alex Garland, who I love him on almost the same level I love Todd Howard. But he put together a 160-page draft script with 40 extra pages of images to convince Hidetaka Miyazaki to let him direct the movie. And he just showed up.
And it worked.
What has he made?
Alex Garland, he made Civil War. He made Men. He wrote the 28 Days Later movies.
Really?
Yeah, and apparently he just played Elden Ring, got obsessed with it, and was like, I'm making this into a movie.
That sounds like a passion project.
And the set photos, dude, like, they built it. They built... It's Limgrave, right? Is it Limgrave?
Yeah, Limgrave.
The like statues, full-on concrete barriers, everything. The set photos got leaked. And it's got a pretty stacked cast. Kaylee Spaney, Callum Turner. I think not Callum Turner. What's that guy's name?
I feel like it's the same as Resident Evil, where it's like a really movie adaptable universe.
And it's A24.
Really?
And they're also doing the Death Stranding movie.
Well,
so
there's a Death Stranding movie.
Yep.
Interesting.
So A24 is kind of hopping on that video game.
I'm guessing
trend.
Elden Ring is going to. I imagine the movie would be kind of like, not for similar namesake, but like Lord of the Rings style.
Yes, Lord of the Rings.
Movie,
Yeah,
very
that's exactly how he pitched it. I believe. Is Lord of the Rings style.
Is it gonna be like? Is it gonna follow the general story of the game?
No idea.
Interesting.
They just started filming, and with that kind of budget and that kind of movie, I imagine it's going to be a little bit. So
that'd be very interesting to watch.
It took them how long have they been filming Zelda? Almost a year now.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure.
So
I remember talking about Zelda.
I mean, a movie those movies take a while, and honestly, I'm both conflicted, but super happy we're getting so many adaptations.
I think it's cool. Yeah.
I think it's indicative of a change in culture. Kind of like anime was for losers in the 90s and the early 2000s, and now everyone watches anime. I feel like video games have become just
another medium
for they're a part of culture now. Like the Ayaneo Thor, I couldn't see that being successful 5 years ago.
Or a Last of Us show. I mean, like I know people who have no idea what The Last of Us is,
and
like,
it's on HBO, getting millions of views per episode.
I don't think my mom knew that it was a game.
Yeah,
even
like that makes me so happy. Like honestly,
yeah,
it's just,
and they've been doing a better job with it. You know, like
I think
way better than 90s movies adaptations were horrible. You know,
the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah, they're making a new Street Fighter movie.
I liked the teaser. Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was good.
I didn't hate it. Yeah, I didn't hate it.
I thought the cast were so funny at the Game Awards, dude.
Yeah.
Just all of them interacting. Isn't Jason Momoa was there too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's playing the green guy with the red hair.
Blanca.
Yeah, Blanca.
Yeah, Blanca.
I'm not a Street Fighter person.
I'm pretty hyped for the Street Fighter
I'm excited
movie.
too. I think it's gonna be fun.
I think it's in December. Mortal Kombat 2 comes out next month.
So here's my thing. I'm not a movie guy, but I think all these video game adaptations will get me really watching all of them and enjoying them.
I miss going to the movies, dude. I haven't been in a bit. I haven't been in 2 weeks, which is a bit for me. Bro. Don't judge me. Plus, we live in a town where our movie theater is not that great. Kind of. Well, I hope no one. I know the manager of the movie theater, so maybe cut this out. Never mind.
Anyways, do you guys want to talk about Resident Evil 9?
Sure.
Resident Evil Requiem.
I haven't played it.
So, have you played it?
I've seen people play it, and I think it's very good.
I've played it, and it is a fantastic game. I will say, people have said that the first portion of the game, and I'll keep this relatively spoiler free, even though it's been out for a bit now.
I personally don't care.
Okay, well,
but
I've seen it.
Just for any viewers, just in case. But the first portion, this is very mild, very Grace focused. Grace Ashcroft, she's one of the protagonists here. You have Grace and you have Leon. Her portions, as one might believe for a person who maybe has never experienced BOW, zombies, hunters, etc., has more of a horror focus. And hunters aren't in the game. I was just using that as an example. But was that a spoiler?
No.
Anyways, her section is more horror themed, and it was a lot of fun, dude. I think again, it's bringing back the survival horror, but then when you switch to the Leon sections and you get to just like have your revenge for every time a zombie scared you, it's perfect.
So anything as scary as the baby from 8?
Yeah, something like a couple things exactly like that.
Oh, that terrified me. Like actually.
So some people are saying that it's too short. And
I feel like every Resident Evil game is too short.
I mean, people are speedrunning it in a matter of hours.
Yeah,
well,
because you just run past
I imagine the game itself is like 6 to 8 hours, isn't it?
I think around that time period.
I'm pretty sure I saw someone beat it in like.
Well, not like speed running, but like just a casual playthrough. Yeah.
But I think that's just how Resident Evil games are. I'd rather a Resident Evil game be good and short than be bad and long. You know,
I agree, and I feel like they do kind of have replay value.
Yeah, people are always trying to get S ranks and all, all that stuff, or challenge themselves.
Well, I know. Well, obviously, like traditional Resident Evil had like like Leon A, Leon B, like Claire A, Claire B.
Yeah.
So I mean, that kind of added replay value.
Yeah.
I feel like 4 was pretty long. I mean, 4 is probably and the remake. I'm pretty sure are both like over 12-hour games.
Resident Evil 7 was a bit shorter.
7 was really short in my opinion. That's kind of my only.
What a great game! Though.
That's my only gripe with 7 is that it felt like the pacing was kind of odd because of like how short it was. But Resident Evil 2 Remake is short, and I really love the like length of that.
You gotta appreciate 7 simply because I feel like it revitalized
revitalized
that entire franchise.
Yeah.
And like it's such a narrative swing. Like that could have easily not worked.
Yeah.
That could have easily gone terrible with the fan base. Nope, people ate it up.
And apparently this new one looks great on the Switch too.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard it runs really well.
Yeah,
I
want to say it was that game that they said looked better on the Switch too than the Series S.
Yeah.
Because of I think like DLSS or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
One of them like NVIDIA things. But have you played? Probably we can go back to Resident Evil, but have you played Prime 4?
A little bit.
Okay, so we both played a little bit. Yeah.
Is that disappointing?
Yeah,
I've heard it's disappointing.
I don't. It's just way too linear.
Whenever you were saying like revitalized, that for some reason Prime 4 came into my head because I feel like that should have been the thing to revitalize Metroid, and it definitely, in my opinion, didn't.
All the campy dialogue and
it's basically Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, but with a few worse elements added. I think everything they've added to, because I mean, like you could just copy, Prime 1, 2, 3, which are great games, and make another one exactly the same, and it'll still be a great game. It may not stand out, but it'll still be a great game. They added a few things to it, and I think everything they added was pretty bad, in my opinion.
You don't like the quirky characters?
No, I don't like the
Marvel-esque dialogue.
Yeah, I don't like the guy that follows you and talks around. I played it for probably about like 4 or 5 hours total, and then I kind of realized that, and I mainly just started playing it the day it came out because of the hype, and then I was like, well, I haven't even beaten 2. Haven't beaten 3 before. I've only played halfway through both of those, so really? I was like, yeah, I'd only finished Prime 1, so I was like, let me go back and play through them, kind of let Prime 4 marinate some, and then maybe I can come to Prime 4 with a little bit more kind of open eyes, but I never even came back to it yet. I plan to play it through it still. I mean, it seemed like a pretty good game, still, but it just didn't
as far as a Prime title.
Yeah, I feel like because Other M, would have been the last mainline, in my opinion, 3D Metroid. Yeah. Because Dread, I feel like Dread did a pretty good job.
Dread was great
with the 2D side, but the 3D side we'd all been waiting because of Other M being the last entry, which kind of probably a controversial opinion. I kind of like a lot of things about Other M. I think they executed it bad, but I think conceptually it was good to have like a very narrative, story driven. Like it honestly kind of makes me want to see them try to revisit that, since we're talking about movie adaptations in kind of a movie show adaptation form. I feel like there's so much like story, characters, like
again,
backlog.
Even if it's not about Samus, even if it's adjacent
even if it's the
universe.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much that I feel like they could do a good job on. Metroid Other M just kind of had, some very specific issues. But yeah, Prime 4, I don't think did what it needed to do.
Yeah, I think that the universe creates so many opportunities for, talking about the Chozos or talking about the Federation Force and all those things. Of course, there could always be a story about Samus, and that'd be great too. But we already know from like Metroid Prime Hunters, there's all kinds of bounty hunters just like Samus. I think, dude, imagine if you had a what is that type of show where it's like individual stories?
Anthology?
Yeah, an anthology. Like imagine if you've seen a couple of different hunters' point of views, and maybe you could like even
Samus could be in one episode or something.
Yeah, or even that, yeah.
Well, I mean, even Metroid in its inception was hugely inspired by Alien.
Yeah.
Okay. By the Alien series. I mean, that's why Ridley is called Ridley, because Scott Ridley.
I didn't think of that. That's crazy.
They have some pretty direct influences from that, so I think it'd be a cool thing to kind of have it kind of 360 almost, and end back up there. But yeah, as far as the games, I feel like Metroid Prime 4 kind of was a disappointment. Yeah. See, I actually didn't make it too far to experience too much of the
open world aspect.
Yeah, the whole open world aspect. But I've seen enough from like live streams and stuff.
It's kind of bare.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a good inclusion.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
So y'all want me to talk about my or go more in depth on why I really like my Pro?
Sure.
Yeah.
That PSSR2.
So what is that? I don't know what that is.
Apparently, it's Sony's proprietary anti-aliasing software, basically,
so just visual
and
stuff.
upscaler.
Yeah.
So it's an upscaler too. Night and day. Like before with the blurry stuff, especially on like newer games. Like when I played Rebirth, Final Fantasy Rebirth, that entire game was fuzzy the whole time,
Really?
even on performance mode.
Yeah.
It was a major issue with that game, and I launched it after the PS. I'll send some screenshots of some of my games to Tristan, and I'm sure he can put a before and after if he wants to. With I think Digital Foundry did a video on it, but I was playing Cyberpunk 2077 the other day, and my entire time was spent in the photo mode because of how good the textures are and the lighting, and it's got full ray tracing now on console. And if you have a variable refresh rate on your TV, it can run with full path tracing at 60 frames per second without any drops. Cyberpunk 2077 on a PS5 on a console. That's ridiculous.
I mean, given the Pro's $900 now.
You're and Spider-Man, especially the first party games. That's what I noticed the most. Was the first party games got a significant upgrade. Not even in like just texture-wise, it's a noticeable difference. Like on Spider-Man suits, on everything. The like hair in games, like you know how sometimes it's kind of just poly? No, like detail, like I've got pictures. I'll definitely send them to you. But noticeable changes. Is it worth $900? No. Do not spend $900 on a video game console. That's just please don't.
I mean, I'm sure you can spend that $900 on something worse.
Well, I mean, even if you went like the PC route, though, I feel like to get
right now that's near impossible.
I feel like to get separate from the RAM prices, I feel like
GPUs are expensive as hell too.
You get a decent one for between like $600 and $700 if you want something new.
Yeah.
For a PC?
I'm talking graphics card.
You can get something for lower than $600.
I'm more thinking my speed.
Compare, but I mean, like you could get like a pretty good PC. I feel like PS5 Pro is very shocking to be $900 since it is just a home console,
it's ridiculous,
and it's kind of just like untouched territory. But realistically, though, when you compare it to like its PC counterpart, the price is there.
It's Sony's. Well, they're on their second price hike. Xbox is on their third. Switch 2 is about to do one. I can feel it. They're absolutely going to raise their prices, I think.
I don't think they will.
You don't think they will?
I don't think
they will.
Speaking
of that, just a pause on that conversation real quick. Did anything ever happen with Nintendo suing the U.S. government?
No, it's still in limbo.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's still like in progress.
Because there's hundreds of other companies who are suing for that because they can. Because, of course you're going to sue if you lost millions and millions of dollars. That just makes sense. But,
I feel like more so it's the PS5, the base PS5 being $649.
Yeah, that's wild.
Is the problem part. Because, like...
How much is a Series X right now?
I mean, that was my original thing with the Switch is, like... I think there should have been an affordable Switch one and then a Pro. And I feel like the OLED wasn't really like encapsulating as a Pro.
There was no hardware changes.
Hardware.
I think it was just
the screen. Yeah. Whereas I feel like instead of releasing the OLED, they could have just released essentially what is currently the Switch 2.
It says here Series X is also $650.
The Series X or S?
The Xbox. The Series X.
Yeah. And so, that's kind of a shame because, like, well, are you... Yeah, I guess
looking at it right now.
That's probably accurate. So how much is the Series S right now?
Series S. That thing's a piece of garbage.
Yeah, sadly, like I feel like Xbox...
$400.
I feel like Xbox in 2026 just isn't the right choice. I feel like you're just kind of buying into a sinking ship.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Halo is literally coming out on PS5 in a couple months, which is insane.
Well, yeah, I mean, apart from there not really being any like first-party reasoning to buy an Xbox, I also just think that like it's almost like if you bought the Dreamcast in 2001, you know, like I mean this is a company who I feel like is very, very, very soon going to entirely exit the console market, you know, so you're kind of buying into a dying platform, you know. I feel like the PS5 makes a lot more sense as far as a home console if you want, or the Switch, obviously. I assume the Switch has been selling like crazy. I feel like it's pretty popular. Right? I mean, it doesn't technically have to, but I feel like it has.
I don't think they're going to have any issues.
I feel like pre-Pocopia coming out, I feel like maybe it started to slow down a little bit, but I feel like that game's kind of taken off.
My wife's loved that game.
Yeah, I feel like it's been very, very popular. I feel like anything Pokemon is going to be popular, but...
Final Fantasy Rebirth did not look bad at all on the Switch 2, on docked mode. It looked very good.
Well, I played it at launch, so I'm guessing it looked better even on the base console after they fixed it.
Oh, okay.
Because I played it. I wasn't waiting. I was ready for that game when it came out. I was playing it the night it came out.
Whatever fancy stuff they do, like NVIDIA does for the Switch 2, honestly, everything I've seen playing on a Switch 2 looks pretty good, yeah.
Like comparable. My brother-in-law, he is actually... in the process, he already put it on Facebook, I think, and maybe eBay, but he's selling his PC just because all his gaming he does have a Switch 2.
Really?
He wanted to play Resident Evil, Switch 2. Final Fantasy, Switch 2. Like everything he wants to play is right there. Mm-hmm. And he's also taking into account that he'll probably buy a Steam machine and just use that for a console-like experience while having access to Steam.
I'm still wondering what the price on that thing
we're still no price yet on that. And there's not even a definite release date. They still said by the end of 2026.
It's probably, I would imagine, getting kind of halted due to the hardware issue. But
well, even then...
Because I want to say that's why they quit selling the Steam Deck, is that they didn't want to raise the prices.
Yeah.
So maybe
that's a good sign that maybe... I mean, I feel like we're now on a slightly downward trend where prices are starting to like try to go back normal. Apparently, in the past couple of weeks, whereas
it's fluctuated a little bit.
Something may have been $450 now, maybe it's $425, $400. So I mean, I mean, very minimal change.
I don't think that things are going to be coming down personally.
Really?
I feel like it's probably going to keep getting.
I think it's about to get a lot worse.
Really?
Yeah, I think a lot of things are about to get a lot.
Maybe I'm just trying to be hopeful.
Yeah, I wouldn't be hopeful.
I
want to say the chip. Most of the predictions as far as the like kind of chip shortage inflation, I think the earliest they're expecting that to kind of resolve is like mid 2027. Mm-hmm. So, and I mean the GPU, issue a few years ago, that wasn't really that quick either. So
yeah,
I feel like it's probably going to be a lingering issue. It kind of sucks because again, I think for your more pro, kind of who the PS5 Pro appeals to, I don't think those prices are that ridiculous, because again, you can easily spend $900 building a PC to get equivalent performance. But I do think for more entry-level gamers, simple gamers, kids, things like that, it is kind of becoming a very expensive thing to buy into.
Yep.
Dramatically more expensive thing to buy into.
It's not feasible for the average person anymore.
Yeah, well, for the average person who isn't like a gaming enthusiast,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, back when we were growing up, I mean, I remember this is even kind of later. I mean, we're probably already, in high school at this time. But the 2DS, I remember you could get that for $80 or $120.
And now look at it.
That's like a stocking stuffer for most people, Whereas now it's like if you want to get into the Switch ecosystem, the Switch 1 is still like $350 new, Switch 2.
I mean, I know the Switch Lite tried to fill in that gap for the first model, and I think it did okay, but it was still expensive.
But do they, I don't know which Switch models they still have. I feel like they've kind of positioned the Switch 1 as like the base, and then the Switch 2 is kind of the Pro almost, because they're still like advertising the Switch 1. Like the Switch 1 isn't dead, it's just part of the ecosystem, which I think is kind of weird. I feel like it's kind of holding them back a little.
Yeah.
But,
well, speaking of those price increases and all that, y'all want to talk about just the AI stuff with layoffs and...
I don't know enough about it to really, I guess, have too much of an opinion. See, I play about a 50-50 role. Like, I know you're very, like, against kind of a lot of the...
generative AI.
Well... So you're only against generative AI. See, I think it goes deeper, personally. Yeah. I'm not against the usage of AI in terms of I think ultimately, if the end product is good to the user, then it deserves to be appreciated. However, it was.
It's taking her.
It was used. I think the bigger issue, in my opinion, is large corporations being the ones in control of it, and ultimately, I think they're going to. And again, it's like it's not that it's like the most horrible thing ever. It's just. It's kind of just in the world, what are we left to do if AI kind of takes everything? But I think most of people's complaints have been pretty valid. Usually the use of AI commercially has been pretty rough. We're able to look at it and tell like, hey, this looks bad, or this was used badly.
That robot commercial for the vodka, the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's pretty deserving. But I feel like we're going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to tell. You're going to play, some new Sony exclusive. And
no, Sony patented an AI for QA testing.
Yeah, I bet.
If they... Look, man.
And that's kind of my thing, if there's 40,000 people employed with Sony, and they start replacing,
Well, let me tell you right now, if they announced that they were getting rid of QA testers entirely, I would sell my PS5 Pro today and never touch it again.
I feel like you wouldn't.
I would.
I feel like you wouldn't.
Absolutely. I'll just use my PC. Absolutely. I'll look you dead in the eyes and say that right now. I will stand on that morally.
I'd be surprised.
I hate that. I hate how many people are just...
See, Again, it's a hard thing to do because, like, if you were a business owner, though, and, like,
you have money.
This tool,
like,
not only saving money, like, there's a good chance it's doing a better job.
Yeah. I just don't know how to feel about it replacing people.
I do feel like it is morally, like, it's very morally ambiguous.
Absolutely.
And I think it's more morally ambiguous whenever we're talking about, the elite billionaire class is the one doing it, largely just to... cut their own costs, Yeah, I'm getting into my Hassan arc for a second.
I can't see the next topic.
Here, you want to scroll for me? Have we talked about everything?
Pretty much.
Emulation handhelds.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Go back up a little bit. Yeah, we talked about that. Go up one more. Yeah, okay. We talked about that
PS5
stuff.
Pro, yeah. So we're on the classic games being unavailable. I guess we can someone lead into that.
Only 13%. Whoa, that's big numbers.
Yeah, legally.
So I'll read that. Legally. Only 13% of pre-2010 games are legally playable on modern platforms. 20% of optical media showing data decay. Copyright Office blocked library access. Physical game sellers.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's preservation. Yeah. Yeah, so only... And that's kind of why I'm big on emulators. I don't really see like a moral problem with people using emulators because I would prefer some kid growing up in middle school right now to be able to play Pokemon Emerald without spending $400 to a reseller,
Yeah.
Like I feel like the line gets a little blurred. It's like, okay, I'm going to benefit, a reseller just to make sure I'm playing it legally because you're still not really benefiting Nintendo by buying it from somebody on eBay. But... yeah, I mean, given that like only 13%
You're telling
of
me
games...
trickle-down economics doesn't work?
It's crazy to think about that. Only 13% of games made before 2010 are legally purchasable right now. Like, officially, as far as...
Yeah.
On like
that's only going to get
store.
harder and harder, I feel like. Unless we keep emulation legal, which it's not. Is it even legal?
Emulation is legal. It's just piracy is illegal.
Yeah.
But
so, and the thing you got to think about is to play classic media like this, not only do you have to have the cartridge or disc or whatever from a private seller for who knows how much, you also have to have the console.
Yeah. And you have to hope that it still works.
Yeah, and not only that, you have to, nowadays, they don't have AV cables on TVs anymore. You're going to have to go buy an attachment.
It's a lot of an investment to, kind of get into that. I mean, I still think, like, holds a very large importance, I
still have my Wii.
And it's a very important niche, but to the average, I'm just a fan of, like, I can't imagine kids today having to play like Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, But I feel like because of like Twitch and Nuzlocke and all that stuff, they're still experiencing the actual good representation of Pokemon, and which wouldn't be possible without emulation because they won't officially have a way to play it.
Well, another crazy thing is, I think have you seen the company Analog? Either of you?
Yeah.
So the Analog Pocket, that's the one that runs Game Boy games. $240.
Yeah, even the aftermarket console replacements are pretty expensive.
No, I'm pretty sure Analog is more like the premium side of that.
Yeah, but still though. Well, if you get the non-premium side, I mean the experience is pretty rough. Yeah. But I mean, like it says 20% of optical media is showing data decay. I mean, this stuff is 30, 40, 50 years old at this point, like it's going to become irreparable.
It's more about preservation than anything else. Did you see that? I don't know if this is
Wayback Machine?
No, if this is like iffy territory, you can always edit out. But have you seen that Myriad went down?
Yeah, it's becoming more and more harder to access, especially because of Nintendo access.
Preserved games is what I'll say.
Preserved games, again, I don't hold too much of a strong stance against it. Like, I fully respect somebody that either wants to collect or prefers to play on original hardware. I think there's high value in it. But at the same time, I'm not going to be a stickler on, emulation. Given, again, that, only 13% of games. I mean, there's so many amazing games from the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, that I think is always great for people to play and experience. And
exactly.
I just thought that was kind of a crazy stat, especially leading into that the retro gaming market is $4.18 billion and is constantly growing. I feel like retro has gotten
that's the retro gaming market.
Specifically retro gaming market, growing at 10% annually. I think a lot of kind of short form content has kind of
are those numbers
boosted
like
that.
Inflated just due to like supply and demand, or
I think people are just getting into it more.
Yeah, I mean, really, you need a demand for it to kind of inflate. I mean, technically, the supply isn't really inflating because it's kind of stuck. I mean, there's not going to be any more Pokemon Emerald cartridges made. So I'd say solely a demand thing, and probably people capitalizing on that demand a lot
by charging outrageous prices.
But there still has to be a demand for that. For Pokemon Emerald to go from $200 to $300, there has to be somebody out there willing to pay $300 for it. And that demand is definitely there. I feel like we kind of already touched on the Switch too. I don't really have too much to talk about I don't think there is really that much to talk about for the Switch too, as far as like, because my main thing is always going to be first party. I always want to see like first party Nintendo games. Pokopia seems cool, but I mean, other than that, they haven't really done that much.
Arceus game was rough.
ZA. ZA.
Oh.
Yeah,
Pokemon Legends. There you go.
Yeah, Pokemon Legends.
I just don't understand how you willingly put something like that out.
Wait, who did you guys see the thing where? Who was it? He's like it's kind of like a lol cow. He was talking about how much better Pokemon ZA was than Resident Evil 9.
What?
Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. Nor would I want to. I don't think I'd want to see
that. It was just a very weird argument he was trying to make. I think he was trying to use numbers or something, but it's just two totally different games. Like, can't really say one is better than the other. Yeah, like,
it's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
One's a horror game, narrative driven.
Or maybe he was comparing. I think he was comparing Pokopia to Resident Evil 9. Not ZA.
Well, that's even worse.
No. I mean, that's at least more, I guess, of a valid argument.
Just because the same.
I feel like we can say with ZA and Resident Evil 9 that one is very clearly worse.
Yeah.
Very evidently.
Well, I was saying they're even more two different types of games, Pokopia and Resident Evil 9. Like,
it's
not even remotely similar
just for Kid Doom.
I guess, it's like comparing Animal Crossing and Doom. How much this kind of goes, I guess, into what we were talking about earlier with the console prices. How much do y'all think games should cost? Like, what is a ridiculous amount if they, given that they are going to keep going up
70.
with everything? You think 70 is the ridiculous amount?
Yes.
I can't justify spending more than 60 for a base game. Unless it comes with extra stuff, 60s.
See, I think Nintendo was a little crazy with the $80 thing, but... Or, well, there's, I think, kind of still doing that, because that isn't just Mario Kart World that's $80, is it? I'm pretty sure they have something else that's $80. I know Bonanza was 60 or 70. I think 70. Prime 4, I think, is 70, but I'm pretty sure there's something else that's $80.
The only thing...
right now, Tears of the Kingdom right now for Switch 2, $79.99.
Yeah, $80.
$79.99.
Tears of the Kingdom.
That game came out years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, first $70, yeah. And people were kind of questioning, why it was $70. But
yep.
I feel like 70 isn't that bad.
I've just got.
When we grew up, games were $50.
Yeah.
Going into the 360, they started normalizing at $60. That's been a long time, I feel like it makes sense for it to...
I don't know. I'm just at the point where, like, my backlog is so big.
Yep.
I'm not going to spend that much money on a game when I have so many other games I could be playing right now.
I do agree, yeah. But that's why it probably doesn't bother me nearly as much.
Yeah, because we're not really
I feel
buying
like we
them
have a lot more variety, a lot more of kind of an established backlog to play now. If you're on PC, or honestly, if you're on console, family sharing things.
You can do it on console now.
Pretty much console and PC has like such a large backlog. If you had the PS1 growing up, all you could play on it was PS1 games.
Yeah.
Now with the PS5, you can play PS1, 2, 3. You have game whatever the equivalent of Game Pass is that gives you, PS4, PS5 games.
PS Plus.
So
it comes with a subscription to Sony's movie streaming thing too now.
Yeah,
well,
so I think that's why the $70 thing doesn't bug me as much, because like it's going to be for those things, like if a new Zelda comes out that I have to get day one, but it's not like I'm recurringly buying, well, I feel like you probably stay more concurrent with gaming, like modern gaming, so it probably, affects you a lot more because you're more often buying more expensive games, but for me, it's like I have enough stuff to sit down and play now that like by the time I would even get around to playing some of these games that have came out, they're not $70 anymore.
I have found as I've gotten older that I very much do enjoy the sales.
Yeah.
The winter sale, especially on PlayStation, is always the best one to me. And the
Steam summer sale's nice too.
Yeah. And they had an $80 game. It was the new Mortal Kombat, and it was like the complete edition of it, and it was like $15.
Yeah.
On the winter sale. And I was like, give me that.
Yeah. I do want to clarify, though, that is my stance on, like, games being that expensive. I know I have said I played Resident Evil Requiem. That wasn't my copy. I was playing, on somebody else's PlayStation. So I don't want people to be like, oh, well, how has he played it if he's not spending $70 on this game?
Well, I think it's more so, too, just like, again, you're not turning around buying a new Resident Evil Requiem. There's not that many, for me at least, that many new games coming out, like, constantly that are worth
that are worth it, yeah.
Instantly buying.
Because that one might actually, be worth it.
Yeah, versus... like if a Resident Evil comes out, $70, and then 6 months later, a new Zelda comes out, $70.
I don't know how much Pocopia is, but, like, I
would imagine it's $70.
I'm not going to spend that.
Right? Your wife?
No, again, she was playing my dad's Switch.
Okay.
So again,
I'm so dumb. I was like, there's a game coming out this fall, right? And I was GTA 6.
Is that supposed to be this fall?
Yes.
Oh, that's still coming out this year.
It's still coming out.
I genuinely haven't.
Next year. Let's try
Dude,
again.
I don't know when.
I read an article where they talked about the economy. The world economy is going to be a little bit lower. It's that day it comes out probably because of so many people calling out.
I feel like that's the only game in existence that could get away. That, and maybe I feel like even Skyrim probably couldn't, but I feel like GTA 6 could be the only game in existence that could come out for $120 and people would just buy it.
I just wonder how they're going to support the services, like the servers.
I don't think multiplayer comes out.
No, it won't come out immediately. But Rockstar bought that GTA RP company.
That was a company?
It was like a...
Yeah, there's a lot of... there's a lot of money involved in that stuff.
So that they could make their online for 6 better, apparently. Their servers and stuff better.
Think about it. That game's so large that you do have like private companies like setting up, maintaining servers, hiring people to manage and maintenance, moderate the servers. There's a lot of money going kind of in and out of that.
That's something we should talk about too, was Rockstar got hacked. 2 days ago, I think.
Really?
3 days ago. Of a ransom. Like, hey, we have all this data. We're going to release it unless you pay. They didn't pay.
Did the data get released?
Yeah, their financial data from how much they make from online. they make billions.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, that's why there's not really a rush for GTA 6.
They can't afford to rush it, really, in my opinion, because it has to be on the level of 5.
I'm saying it more so like
they don't need to because they're making so much. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
If GTA 5 is just consistently going like this, or even like this, there's no real reason. It's kind of Nintendo and making good games, like they can just keep shoveling out bad Pokemon games if they're going to sell 40 million each year.
So frustrating, though.
People will buy them.
But, I feel like GTA 6 is the only game that could get away charging. Like,
I'll be playing it.
I could see them doing it. I would buy it. I'm sorry. I'm paying $100 for GTA 6 if it comes out for that. I do think it's a shame that multiplayer isn't coming out same day.
But I definitely won't get a same day PC release.
I will say, though, I feel like there's always been a lot of people that have never even touched the GTA campaigns.
Absolutely.
Some of our friends even, they've never played a second of the GTA campaign
they've played online,
that you didn't have to play, but they played 100 plus hours online. I do at least hope that with them postponing online, given that the game is going to have so much hype day one, however it releases, that hopefully a lot of people will experience the campaign, and hopefully they put a lot of attention and effort into the campaign, because I love GTA campaigns. I think they're all great. 4 or 5, the older ones.
I believe I've already said this, but I've really only ever played the online for 4, and that was it.
So you never played a campaign, or?
Nope, not for 4. A little bit of campaign for 4.
Yeah,
nothing of 5.
I am a sucker for 5, dude. The writing in that game.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The story I think is amazing. I think the gameplay is amazing. I think it's very variable. I feel like there's a lot of different types of gameplay to keep it interesting.
I know y'all aren't the biggest fans of Red Dead 2, but the mechanics that they made for that game are moving over into this one.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
So you won't be able to carry a million weapons at once. You'll have to go to your trunk probably and grab a...
Well, that's pretty... I mean, that's cool, though.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about the physics, too, because the leap in physics just from GTA 5 to Red Dead 2 is pretty big.
Yeah,
as far as, limb detachment when you're shooting and stuff like that, that sounds sick.
I think it's specific things, but it overall will create more immersion.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's why I like the GTA storyline, campaign, is that you feel really immersed in just a different world where you can kind of just go around and do whatever. And so, I'm excited because I've honestly never really played GTA multiplayer that much. I've always just been a campaign person.
I wanted to. I just didn't have people I knew who played it at the same time.
Yeah, I had friends who played it, and I just never really bothered even trying it. It's never looked that appealing to me. I don't really kind of get it. I'm not gonna lie. It's the same thing with MMOs. MMOs, I've never been able to get into. I've tried multiple. I recently tried Final Fantasy 14. Kind of forced myself to like it for a good 10 or 15 hours, and
I was like, "Didn't stick that long, huh?"
Yeah. Well, I kept thinking, it'll get better, and it never. It's just not my type of game, and I feel like the GTA Red Dead Online is kind of the same thing. It's just not my type of
I've played GTA 5 just to drive before.
Honestly,
it's relaxing to me personally.
I hope with 6 they really just have so much emphasis on every single kind of niche of the game, because there's a huge car niche in the game. Tons of people talk about all the different cars in GTA 5. So imagine if they really adapt kind of a Forza level of
that'd be cool.
Car customization, recognizable. Because I want to say GTA usually has they don't have Porsches and whatever actual car brands, but they have
their own in-world car brands.
Yeah, but everybody any person can tell what it's supposed to be. Yeah,
and that's in that universe. That's sodas and stuff too. They're
branded stuff. Yeah. So I really hope that this time was... obviously everybody does, but I'm meaning every nook and cranny of detail, because I feel like that's where GTA 5 excelled.
You know how much they've spent on 6 so far, right?
Nah, I can only imagine.
$2.1 billion.
I bet.
So you know what that makes me think of? Imagine if it becomes another type of model like Roblox. Stick with me here. So you know how with Roblox you have all kinds of custom games?
Basically that,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like they can...
Because there are custom maps and stuff. And
custom maps, custom games.
Yeah,
and that's what the Forza thing reminded me of.
Yeah, because realistically, GTA 5 is every single day, to this day, a top 10 most played Steam game because of multiplayer and because of things like that, like the RP servers, custom game mode map things. So, I feel like it's pretty much on that same level of of a Roblox. It's just that, Roblox solely has that, whereas GTA is at least, also very story, very single player oriented. So there's always a need for a new one, I feel like. Yeah. But just not an immediate need.
My other thing is we have a cowboy Rockstar game. We have a modern Rockstar game. When do we get our Space Odyssey Rockstar game?
I thought you were gonna say old, and I was gonna say LA Noire.
No. They don't have a title like that, do they?
They don't have a no.
And I don't think they even have plans to. I mean, I would imagine GTA is kind of just coasting themselves. I want to say they've laid off teams that were working on other stuff recently.
They had a new IP in the mid 2000s called Agent. That was like a spy game. And it got canceled.
Yeah, I was about to say it must not last that long.
I don't. And again, it's just simply the fact that they don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason to.
I'm just such a big fan of that genre. If there was a space-themed Rockstar game, that kind of like GTA or Red Dead, that'd be cool.
And I feel like they used to do a much better job of having a similar gameplay style across varying IPs more than Bethesda. Bethesda really just feels like a reskin, whereas Bully, LA Noire, GTA, Red Dead, they all feel very different, but still they still feel like a Rockstar game. Yeah, I feel like they used to do a really good job of that.
Dang, I want to play Red Dead 2 again now. They're supposed to. Apparently, they're gonna release an enhanced version of that on consoles for 60 FPS. So that's the rumor right now. No, it's 30, FPS. Bro. I have to play it on my PC. Which again, I have a PC. I like playing games on my PC, but I have a very nice set up with my console. So
did you already mention the whole Oblivion thing?
You mean about how I was right?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone I mean, you guys believed me because I have no reason to lie about it. But I don't know if Tristan's going to edit in the part where I'll have to find it for him probably. I'll go back and scrub that video to find where I talked about that person popping into the Twitch stream and the Discord and being like, hey, I worked at Bethesda and got laid off and they are absolutely making that Oblivion remake and it's going to shadow drop. And I said that and everyone and their mother laughed at me. And then a couple months later, that shit shadow dropped. So
yep.
I am very happy with myself.
Before there was ever any word on it.
Exactly.
But speaking of that, that has me so excited for the 3. The 3
Apparently
remake.
They're working on 3.
I will play that game more than I ever gave time for Oblivion.
Yeah. Have you played 3? Fallout 3?
I have not. But Fallout 3, yes. I played Fallout 3 maybe about 5 or 10 hours, and New Vegas about 5 or 10 hours. Okay. They didn't stick with me that much.
I think 3 is going to benefit greatly.
I liked 4 a lot. I really played so much 4.
100%
yeah, but a lot of people don't.
It's kind of funny. It's like a black sheep.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Well, people hate the dialogue that your character speaks.
I feel like that's such.
I think it's more so I think more the RPG element. It's not as multi-directional.
Yeah,
because most of the answers don't really change that much of the game compared to 3 in New Vegas, especially I think New Vegas, But I don't really mind that
3
much.
is such a masterpiece, dude. I played that on the 360. All of the DLC, all bangers, story, all bangers. Yes, it was so good, and I'm so excited for a remake of it. I'm calling it a remake because I think it's in a different engine.
I mean, yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's an Unreal Engine.
Okay.
So, yeah. I don't know how... just shows how much I know. How do they do that?
Do what?
How did they transfer Oblivion into Unreal Engine?
Don't they just build it from the ground up?
No.
Yeah, no, they build it from the ground up. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, for a remake in that
because
regard.
it's essentially it plays exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean,
dialogue's the same.
They'll recreate it,
same.
1-to-1, but it's still most likely a recreation.
Yeah, that's why
it's probably gonna.
It's a totally different engine.
It's probably gonna incorporate its own glitches and everything too. There's gonna be separate bugs and glitches and things that work in the remake that doesn't work, or the remaster, whatever they're calling it, that doesn't work in the original.
So this episode was more just trying to cover everything we've kind of missed over the last year and a half.
We've been gone.
I think some of these next episodes will be more focused on specific topics,
especially since we'll be able to actively know we're planning on it and just send each other stuff in the chat.
This past week was kind of just hey, what are the things that happened in the past year or so that we think have been interesting, which hasn't been too much, but still enough to talk about.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back and watching us. We missed you. We hope you guys missed us.
10 of you.
Yeah, all 10 of you.
And we appreciate it. Subscribe to the Patreon.
Of course.
We don't have a Patreon, but subscribe to the Patreon.
We'll catch you guys next time.
We're working on it. Yep. See ya.